Well, good morning. Thanks for joining me. So, if you're not already in a seat, bring yourself into a seat that you find comfortable. Could be cross legged, could be sitting on your heels with your knees bent, or sitting in really any way that you find comfortable. And then just take a moment to close your eyes as we begin to check in with the body. And so sometimes when you step onto your yoga mat, you're going to have a lot of energy, and sometimes you have not a lot of energy. So check in to see how you feel today. Whether you are practicing with me live or later, start by noticing how you feel. And then begin to breathe a little bit more deeply so that the awareness of whatever sensation, whatever feelings are present is supported by a slow, steady breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. And start to feel your attention arrive into the space that you find yourself in. All right, we'll bring our palms together in front of the heart. Interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. Begin to reach up through one hand and up through the other side. Left and right a few times, just gently tugging on your fingers a little bit. And then as you let your hands separate, take them behind your back. Interlace the fingers there. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, open up across the chest, and then begin to turn the head from side to side. Checking in with the neck. How does it feel to turn the head to the left, to the right? And then reach the chin up. Begin to stretch out the front of your neck. And drop the chin down. And sensing into the back side of the neck. Again, lifting up. And dropping down. And one more time, up. And down. All right, so as you bring your head back up to neutral, release your hands. Let them come to rest on the floor. And then we'll walk the right hand out and just kind of lean into that right hand as your left hand finds your left shoulder. And then start to rotate through the shoulder. A couple of times in one direction. And then a couple of times the opposite way. All right, sweep your left arm up and over alongside your head, reaching over to the right. Begin to squeeze and release the fingers of that left hand, as well as rotate through your wrist. A few times each way. All right, then with your next inhale, lift up. And with your exhale, release your left hand down to the floor. And then we'll slide that left hand out, lean into it, right hand to right shoulder. Start to rotate. A few times in one direction. And a few times the opposite way. All right, sweep your right arm up alongside your head, so reaching over toward your left side. And then squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through your wrist. A few times each way. All right, with your inhale, lift up. And with your exhale, release your right hand back down to the floor. All right, go ahead and straighten out your right leg. Left leg still folded in if you're sitting cross-legged like I am, but extend your right leg out to the side at an angle. And then we'll take the right hand over to the left knee, and then left hand toward the floor behind you. If the hand doesn't come all the way to the floor, maybe you have a cushion or a block that you can let your hand rest on. All right, take a deep breath in, lengthen through the spine. Lift up through the top of the head. And then as you exhale, just slowly begin to twist over to the left. You feel that left shoulder moving back in space to make space for the head to turn and look back. And then allow your head and neck to be in continuous movement as you turn your head back over to the right as far as possible. Perhaps spot your right big toe and then turn the head back over to the left. And see how far the head is able to turn comfortably. And then just turn your head a few times, side to side. Spot the big toe and look back behind you. One more time. All right, as your head comes back to center, let the rest of the torso untwist and we'll do the other side. So fold that right leg in, send your left leg out at an angle. Take the left hand over to the right knee and then right hand towards the floor or a prop behind you. Inhale, lengthen tall so you feel your whole torso elongate as though you're being lifted up from the top of your head. And then as you exhale, just gently begin to twist over to the right. Let's see how far the right shoulder wants to go before it stops to make space for your head to turn and look back. And then maintain the twist as your head starts to turn back over toward the left, perhaps spotting your left big toe. And then just keep your head slowly turning side to side, looking back, looking toward the big toe, just a few times as you breathe. All right, take one more breath. And then bring your head back to center. Let your torso untwist. Fold that left leg back in. And then we'll transition onto hands and knees. So I'm practicing with a couple of mats here. If the surface you're practicing on is a hard surface and you only have one mat, you might decide to put a blanket under your knees or a pillow to give yourself a little bit of a softer surface if that feels good for your body. And then when you're ready, come on to hands and knees with your hands under your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And we'll just start to move the hips in a circular pattern. So take your hips over to the left and then back and then right and then forward. And so just keep doing that, out and back and right and forward. A few times in this counterclockwise circle. The next time your hips go forward, change direction so you're going clockwise. All right, come back to neutral. From here, we'll tuck our toes under, lift the knees about an inch or so. So you've got this sort of hovering feeling where your knees are just above the floor. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lift your hips up, straighten your legs. Begin to drop one heel toward the floor. Let your opposite knee bend. And switch. Back and forth a few times. All right, release down to your knees. Untuck your toes, sit back toward your feet. Now, it might be comfortable for you to drop down to elbows. You might wish to bring your head all the way to the floor or to a block. It might be more comfortable to stay up on your elbows. So find a version of this posture that feels comfortable for you. Take 3 rounds of breath. All right, the next time you breathe in, pull yourself back up onto hands and knees. We'll tuck our toes under, lift the knees, and pause once again, just kind of hovering with the knees just above the floor. Take a full breath in. And exhale, lift your hips, straighten your legs, come back into downward dog. All right, take just a slightly different stance with your feet this time. So wherever your feet are, whether they're close together or far apart, change the distance between the feet by some amount, just to introduce new sensation into the backs of the legs. All right, one more breath. All right, release down to your knees and then step your left foot to your left hand. So just coming into a short lunge where we have the front knee over the ankle and then the right hip is right over the knee. So not a big, long, stretchy lunge just yet, just a short lunge. All right, so take the right hand to left knee, sweep the left hand forward and up and back and down. Just rotating through your shoulder. Notice and feel the position of your palm in space. Is it turning up? Is it turning down? Feel that rotation. All right, so the next time you take your left hand back, go ahead and pause in the twist. Turn your head to look back, perhaps spotting that left thumb. Relax your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw. All right, sweep the left hand forward. Take both hands to the floor and then step your right foot forward. Coming into your forward fold, some of us will take a wide stance with the feet. Some of us are more comfortable with feet close together. Find a comfortable distance between your feet, and as you fold over your legs, bend your knees a little bit. Release the weight of the head. Let the cheeks and face droop a bit. Shake out the head, yes and no. All right, walk your hands up the fronts of your legs. Rise up to stand. As you inhale, draw the shoulders up and back and down. Again, up and back and down. And then once more up and back and down. Now keep your left foot forward, step your right foot back. Now this doesn't have to be the widest stance that your body can do, just something so that the front of your body is still pointed forward. So if you step too wide apart, you're going to be at more of an angle, like a diagonal. So just a moderate stance between your feet. And then we'll take our arms forward, bring the palms together to touch. Simultaneously feel your palms touching each other and your feet connecting with your sticky mat. Take a deep breath in. Now as you exhale, twist left, so left arm out and back. Twice more like that. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, twist left. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out. Now pause here, turn both palms up. Now as you inhale, reach up. Turn your torso over to your right side, and then exhale, lower your arms down. Turn back over to the left. Inhale, reach up. Turn to the right. Exhale, lower your arms. Now keep going at your own speed. Inhales to the left. Exhales to the right. So it should kind of feel like you're making a snow angel in space with a little twist in the middle of it. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to lower down. All right, one more breath. All right, as you come back to center, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Step your right foot forward, feet about hip distance apart. As you inhale, squat. Push your hips back, bend your knees. We'll find chair pose as the arms now reach forward or up. As you exhale, fold forward. Step back to downward dog. I'm going to add in a little plank here. So as you inhale, shift forward. Shoulders over wrists. Pause here and exhale. Take another inhale. Exhale to downward dog. All right, release down to your knees. Step your right foot to your right hand. Again, we're stepping into this short lunge so that as you lift your torso up, you have your front knee over your ankle and your left hip over your knee. All right, take the left hand across to the right knee. Sweep the right hand forward and up and back and down. Rotate a few times here through your right shoulder. Notice and feel the position of your right palm in space. When does it turn up? When does it turn down? Out to the side. All right, so the next time you take your right arm back, go ahead and pause in your twist and turn your head to look back. Spot the right thumb. All right, take that right hand forward. Both hands to the floor. Step your left foot forward. Come into your forward folds. Again, some of us might take our feet really wide apart. Others might take the feet close together. But whichever distance there is between your feet, start with a little bend in your knees. Lay the belly on or in between the thighs. Let the weight of the head fall toward the earth. Relax the cheeks, forehead, jaw. All right, now walk your hands up the fronts of your legs, rising back up to stand. This time we'll do backward shrug. So we did up and back and down before, so go back, up, and forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. Then once more back, up, forward, and down. Okay, this time right foot is forward, step your left foot back. And again, not the biggest stance that your legs are able to create, but something where you've got some distance between your feet, couple of feet, but you're still generally pointed towards the front of your mat. Start by taking the arms forward, palms come to touch. Simultaneously connect with the sensation of palms touching and feet touching the sticky mat. All right, deep breath in. Exhale as you twist to the right. Right arm goes out and back. 2 more times. Inhale, palms back together. Fill up with breath. Exhale to the right. 1 more like that. Breathing in. And breathing out. Turn both palms up. Inhale, reach up. Turn the torso to your left side. Exhale, lower your arms down. Back over to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the left. Release the arms. Now keep going at your own speed of breathing. Each time you inhale, arms go up. Each time you exhale, arms go down. Inhales to the right. Exhales to the left. Again, it should kind of feel like you're making a snow angel in the middle of the air with a little twist in the middle of it. Both arms lift at the same time, both arms lower at the same time. All right, 1 more breath. All right, palms come back together as you come to center. Step your left foot forward, feet hip distance apart. Begin to squat, push your hips back, bend your knees a little bit as we start to create our chair pose here. Knees are bent, hips reaching way back. Then take your arms forward or up, depending on what your shoulders prefer. All right, another deep breath in. Exhale, fold over your legs, step back, downward dog. Going to add in 2 planks this time. Inhale, rock forward and pause. Exhale here and plank. Another inhale. Exhale, downward dog. One more time. Inhale forward. Find your plank. Exhale here and plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, downward dog. All right, as you inhale, release to your knees. Exhale, sit back towards your feet. Again, finding our child's pose. Remember, make this posture comfortable for yourself. So maybe your knees are close together, maybe they're wide apart. If your ankles or feet can't handle any weight in this way, just flip over onto your back and hug your knees into your chest. Excuse me. All right, one more breath. All right, so as you come back up onto hands and knees, then come all the way down onto the front of your body. As you come onto the front of your body, walk your arms forward so that your elbows are roughly underneath your shoulders. And begin to gently press down into your arms as you lift your heart and reach it forward. As you reach your heart forward, reach back through your toes. So you have this sense of getting longer and longer and longer, somewhat horizontally. All right, then check in with your neck. Is this comfortable, or would it feel better to slightly take your gaze downwards to find a little more space in the back of the neck? All right, take 3 more breaths. All right, lower your heart down to the floor. Press back up onto hands and knees. Now this time from hands and knees, take your knees close together, and then we'll lift the left knee up and out to the side. So just pause a moment with your leg lifted. And then we'll start to rotate through the hips. So let that left knee draw a big circle in space. Nice and slow. Try to keep your arms straight here. All right, rotate the opposite way. Now the next time that you breathe in, reach your left leg back. Exhale, left knee to chest, round your back. Again, inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee to chest. One more inhale back. Exhale, knee to chest. As you take your left leg back this time, cross it over the right leg, drop the toes, curve your spine to the right so that you're peeking back at that left foot. All right, bring your torso back to neutral. Slide this left foot all the way out to the side and then all the way forward as you walk your left foot to your left hand. Slide the right knee back, widen your lunge a little bit here. If you need to come up onto your right fist because the palm doesn't like quite that much pressure, feel free to come up onto your right fist. And then we'll tuck the right toes under, lift the knee. Begin to twist the torso towards your front leg, towards your left leg, and then reach your left hand up into the air. Now take that left arm up alongside the head. And then take that left hand behind the back. Again, up into the air. Up alongside the head. And behind the back. All right, one more time, up into the air. Up alongside your head. And behind your back. All right, release your back knee down. Come back to hands and knees. Once you get there, tuck your toes. Lift your knees and hover. Pause, so your knees are hovering above the floor, not touching. Take another breath in. Exhale to downward dog. All right, release down to your knees. We'll do the right side. So knees start close together. Lift your right knee up and out to the side. Pause a moment. Then start to rotate through the hip. Couple circles in one direction. Try to keep your arms straight, remember. And a couple circles the opposite way. All right, with your next inhale, reach your right foot back in space. Exhale, right knee into the chest, round the back. Again, inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out. As you take your right leg back this time, cross it over the left leg, drop the toes, and then curve the spine to the left, peeking back at the right foot. All right, as you bring your torso back to neutral, slide that right foot all the way out to the side and then walk it all the way forward. So coming into a longer lunge as we scoot that left knee back in space. Right hand to right thigh. And remember, if the hand on the floor is starting to get a little fatigued in the wrist, just come up onto a fist. Tuck your left toes under, lift your knee, and begin to twist to the right. Take the right hand up into the air. Right arm alongside the head. Right hand behind the back. Back up into the air. Up alongside the head. And behind the back. And then one more, reach up. Along the head. Behind the back. All right, release back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes, hover your knees. Pause. Take a deep breath in. And exhale to downward dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Pause here as you exhale. Take another breath in. And exhale, downward dog. All right, one more. Inhale, come forward. Pause as you exhale. Inhale again. Exhale, downward dog. Now walk your hands and feet toward each other. Come into a forward fold. Again, each time we come into this forward fold, you can take your feet a comfortable distance apart. So some of us might have them close. Some might have them wide. Feel the weight of your head. Relax your face. Full breath in and out. And begin to walk your hands up the fronts of your legs, rising to stand. So from the standing position, just turn and step wide on your mat. Then we'll turn our toes slightly out, heels slightly in, and then start to bend your knees so that your thighs are going in the same direction as your feet. And as you sink down in this way, start to engage your hips. So it should feel like your knees are pulling backwards in space. Now adding to this, balance out the weight between the ball of your foot and the heel of your foot. You can relax your toes a little bit, but really balance out ball to heel. And then we'll take the arms out to the sides, bend the elbows, point the fingers up. Now, just as your knees are still pulling back in space, start to pull your elbows back in space. So you're feeling not only your hips getting stronger, but the space between your shoulder blades getting more strong and stable. Breathe in a way that feels good to you, naturally, breathing in and out. Take 3 more breaths. All right, release the arms. Then straighten the legs. Take your feet to hip distance or slightly wider. I'm going to do a breathing practice that I do in a lot of my classes called Breath of Joy. So there's 3 inhales, 1 exhale. So arms will go forward and then out and then up for those 3 inhales. And then as you exhale, you'll bend your knees and just sweep your arms back, breathing out your mouth. So one round of it looks like this. All right. In, out. Now we'll do roughly 15 to 20 of these breaths, but I don't really count, so we just stop when we stop. All right, so make sure that you're standing in a way that you feel comfortable. Let your knees be buoyant and soft, and let's begin. Last breath. And then just pause about halfway folded forward with your forearms resting on your thighs. Knees slightly bent. Let the energy kind of settle back into the body. This one always reminds me of like a shaken snow globe or paperweight. Just letting all of your energy just kind of settle back down for a moment. And then when you're ready, gradually come to stand. And then we'll step near the back of the mat. Feet about hip distance, palms together at the heart. Inhale and squat. Find your chair pose. Really push the hips back. Bend the knees a little bit. Then edge your arms going forward or up. Keep breathing. One more breath in. Exhale, fold over your legs. Walk out to one last downward dog. All right, as you release down to your knees, come all the way down onto your back. As you come onto your back, take your knees into your chest. Give them a gentle squeeze, a rock from side to side. And then as you let your knees drop now over to the left, send your right arm over to the right. Now, for some of us, this twist is plenty comfortable with knees stacked in this way, one on top of the other. Others may wish to take the bottom leg and straighten it out a little bit. The top knee then comes a little bit closer to the floor if that's comfortable in your body. So either way, allow your eyes to go back to being closed, your attention back inside your body. Sensing what is present now. What sensations, what thoughts. Observe all of it. All right, so after your next breath, Slowly guide the knees back to center. Hug them back into your chest. And before we do the second side of that posture, take your left foot to the floor, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and then just bring the legs in toward the chest. So you're reaching through for that left leg. Maybe you're grabbing around the shin, behind the knee. If your proportions don't allow for you to grab a hold of that left leg, you could just hold on to the right leg. Because really in this posture, we're just using the left leg to stretch the right leg. So if you just hold the right leg, you can be drawing the foot in close toward the chest while you very gently press the right knee away with the right hand. So either way, 3 breaths. All right, release both feet to the floor with the knees bent, but step your feet as wide as your mat. Then start to sway the knees from side to side. Maybe they touch the floor, maybe they don't. But really let your feet be wide apart so that as you drop your knees side to side, each leg can fully roll in and out to its capacity without bumping into the other leg. All right, one more breath. All right, both knees come into the chest. And then roll over onto your right side. So knees are bent, and then send your left arm back over to the left. And as we come into the twist on this side, again, you might keep your knees stacked one on top of the other. You might let your bottom leg straighten out a little bit so the left knee comes a little closer to the floor, if that's comfortable in your body. Either way, let yourself soften into the shape that you find yourself in. Breathing easily. All right, after your next breath, guide the knees back to center. Hug them into your chest. Then release the right foot to the floor with the knee bent, and then just cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Guide the legs in toward the chest. Reach through for that right leg. Again, maybe you grab around your shin, behind your knee. Or if it doesn't quite work to grab your right leg, just grab the left leg, the one we're trying to stretch anyway. So if you're holding just onto your left leg, right hand is holding the foot, left hand is close to the left knee. And then as you're drawing your foot toward your chest, you're gently pressing that left knee away. Now, it's a really good idea to have your foot flexed when you do this to try to help that knee stay in good alignment as well. So flexing the foot means your foot is active, your toes are pulling toward your knee. All right, whether you're just holding your left leg or you have both legs, 3 breaths. All right, release both feet to the floor, step them as wide as your mat. Sway your knees side to side. All right, as you come to stillness, keep your feet wide, but drop your knees in toward each other. And then check to see if that feels relaxing for your hips. For some of us, drawing the knees in close with the feet wide is not comfortable. And so you might find feet together, knees apart more comfortable. If neither of those is particularly comfortable, maybe straighten out your legs. You could also just keep the knees bent with the knees pointing straight up instead of dropping in toward each other. But whatever your reclined position looks like right now, let your arms also come to rest wherever they are comfortable. Eyes closed. Begin to feel the weight of your eyes dropping into their sockets, the weight of your tongue, the weight of your ears. And then observe your next inhalation. Where does that breath create space within your body? And then observe your next exhale. Where can you let go just a little bit more? Letting go of any muscular gripping in the body, any tension, any repetitive qualities of our thoughts. Again, just simply observe your breath flowing in, inviting space, and the breath flowing out, inviting ease. Space and ease. Space and ease. Take a few more rounds of breath at your own speed. Now, when you feel ready, begin to deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And take your arms up alongside your head. Stretch your legs out. Reach long from hands to feet. And slowly hug the knees into the chest. And then roll to rest on one side as you pause for a moment, a couple of breaths. And then when you feel ready, press yourself up. Come back into a comfortable seat. And so as you come back into your comfortable seat, we'll draw our palms together in front of the heart. As we bow to the light within ourselves, we also bow to the light within each other. Thank you again for joining me for practice. I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.